Backstage here after the match, here's Roxanne Perez, and wait a minute, Tamina from behind! Welcome everyone to episode 4 of Sensational Women's Wrestling.
The following is a tornado tag team match. On the way to the ring, Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez.
Tornado tag team action set to begin the night here. The number 1 contenders, Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez, set to do battle here in the ring tonight against their opponents, Shotzi and Natalya, and boy oh boy, gonna be a good one, I think. Liv and Raquel looking to carry some more momentum heading into their championship match against Becky, Lynch, and Lita at Backlash. They'll have to get through Shotzi and Natalya to do it, though.
And their opponents, Natalya and Shotzi.
One of the oddest pairings here, I think, in Sensational Women's Wrestling, at least to begin the new era anyway. Shotzi and Natalya, they were losers in their first match back in week 2 of the show, where they faced Dakota Kai and Bayley of Damage Control. They were unable to come out on top in that one, but tonight they have a chance to spoil some of the momentum from the number 1 contenders who won their first match back in week 1 on the debut show of Sensational Women's Wrestling. They faced Sonya Deville and Chelsea Green. Able to come up with the win on that one, and here we go. First match of the night is underway, and boy oh boy, this one I'm excited for. As mentioned a few weeks ago by our general manager, Stacy Keebler, everything in the tag team division when it comes to these matches going to be fought under tornado tag rules, which really does change the dynamic of the match, because it's no longer about managing your stamina, making sure your partner is as fresh and that kind of stuff as in a normal tag match. You're not, holding on to the tag rope to make a tag, come in as the legal woman and all that stuff. It is strictly, essentially, really what it is 2 singles matches at the same time. That just changes the whole dynamic of things, and we see why here, because Natalya threw Raquel out of the ring and then went right after Liv. Now, luckily for her, Shotzi ended up rolling out of the ring, so it didn't become a 2-on-1 situation. But that's the kind of thing that can happen in these tornado tag matches. My goodness! Raquel Rodriguez with a huge powerbomb spine buster onto Shotzi, and there she goes, showing off the guns there. We know she's the strongest, probably the strongest woman in WWE, in Sensational Women's Wrestling, next to Bianca Belair and Rhea Ripley. We know those two, matter of fact, are going to be having a final confrontation here later on tonight, which I can get it more into later as the show goes on here, but they'll be tangling for the WWE Women's Championship at Backlash. We're going to crown our first one here in the new era, as both of those women are Raw and SmackDown champions respectively. So they're fighting to get to that spot and become the new WWE Women's Champion. But here in this match, though, this match is what's important, because again, very important for Liv and Raquel to keep their momentum going and be on a high note heading into Backlash against the champions. You want to come in with momentum, but you never know what's going to happen. And here is what I was talking about earlier, the numbers game coming into play. Quick pin here on Liv, but able to kick out. But this is what I was talking about, the numbers game. It's a handicap match now with Raquel being on the outside. Working her way back in here now, but boy, damage is done there perhaps, as Shotzi and Natalya took a minute to give it to Liv. And now look at Liv. Unique head scissors takedown. Love to see, but Natalya coming right in, sending her back down to the mat. Number 1 contenders are on the ropes, both literally and figuratively, so to speak, here to begin the match here. And look at Natalya squatting with Liv in a suplex. My goodness. And look, here we go again. Now Liv rolls out. Now it's time to do some damage to Raquel. This is what you want. If you're the number one contender, you don't want to be in the spot right now. Shotzi and Natalya taking full advantage of this opportunity. This is DDT to Raquel. And Natalya with the stomps to Raquel. Rapid stomps in a row. And there she goes rolling out of the ring. And now all four ladies are outside the ring. And man, if this is what we're going to see from Shotzi and Natalya, they're going to be in good shape going forward here. This unlikely duo might turn out to be a force to be reckoned with if they can continue to perform like this early going to this match. They are giving these girls all they can handle right now. There's another one of the head scissors takeovers from Liv there. Man, what a beginning to this match. You would expect to see the number one contenders come out and fire in early on, but not the case here. They have been on the ropes begin the early part of this match, and there's a big DDT on the outside from Shotzi to Raquel, and now Liv going over the ropes. Natalya sending her outside to her partner. And again, this is what you want to see happen. But if you're the number one contenders, you got to figure out a way to get back into this match and quickly. But boy, it's going to get ugly if you don't. Now, here we go. Now we're seeing some double team action here. Breaking up the holds. That's what you want. You got to get on the same page, ladies. Now's the best time to do it. And there's no countouts in these matches, so you can stay outside the ring pretty much as long as you want to. But pinfalls and submissions still have to happen inside the ring. You do all the damage you want on the outside, but it doesn't matter unless you get the pinfall or submission inside the ring. But we'll see who's going to get back in for after all this damage is done. And my goodness, Shotzi's head bouncing off with a steel post here on the outside, that LED post here on the outside. Now the number one contenders are looking good. They've weathered the early storm, and they've really gotten back into it here over these past few minutes. And again, into that ring post goes Shotzi. Liv gets Natalya back in the ring, looking to maybe get Oblivion here, and no, Natalya reversed it. He said, not today, and there's a suplex from Natalya. Now Natalya calling for the end here, perhaps looking for a sharpshooter. Raquel off the ring post, and there goes the sharpshooter locked in on Liv. Liv in the middle of the ring, she taps. This one is over. Shotzi and Natalya, the unlikely duo, get their first win here in Sensational Women's Wrestling. 1-1 now for them. Liv and Raquel also 1-1 with a loss, surprising one, heading into their championship match at Backlash coming up next episode. And boy, oh boy, tonight got a good show here for you. Broken up here into two parts. As you know, we're trying something different here on the channel. Break it up into two parts, and we'll see how this goes, how you will like it, and that kind of stuff. Congrats to Shotzi and Natalya winning their first match here. And tonight we'll see Alexa Bliss taking on Nikki Cross in a Intercontinental Championship preview, because we'll see two of the four women in that ladder match. And later on in part two, you'll see Candice LeRae and Io Sky gonna get that final spot in the Women's Intercontinental Championship ladder match. We'll see who gets that final spot there. That's gonna be good. Damage control will be in Io's corner. Candice LeRae will have Indy Hartwell in the final showdown between Bianca Belair and Rhea Ripley, as these two get set to clash before Backlash one more time. We'll see what they have in store for us. It'll be a response, I imagine, from Bianca.
It's been a long journey to get here, hasn't it? And now we're on the verge of making history with Backlash on the beautiful island of Puerto Rico. And this Sunday at Backlash, in my homeland, I have the opportunity of a lifetime. A chance to etch my name in history as the first ever WWE Women's Intercontinental Champion. This championship, it's not just about me. It's about every little girl and boy in Puerto Rico who dreams of something bigger. It's about showing the world that from these shores, incredible women can rise and shine. In that fatal four-way ladder match, it's not going to be easy. The competition is fierce, and these women are tough. But I didn't come this far to back down. I'm going to climb that ladder, reach for that title, and bring it home to Puerto Rico! So, Puerto Rico, prepare yourselves for an unforgettable night at Backlash, because Zelina Vega is coming home to make history, and I promise you, I won't disappoint.
Strong words there from Zelina Vega. We know she's going to be one of those 4 women competing for that first and new honor of being WWE Women's Intercontinental Champion.
Columbus, Ohio,
Alexa Bliss taking it back to her goddess days. She said that she was going to go back and remind everyone why she was at one point one of the top women here in WWE. And she wants to do that first by capturing the new Women's Intercontinental Championship, and she'll have a chance to do that at Backlash. Tonight, though, she'll have to face an old friend, Nikki Cross.
and from Glasgow, Scotland, almost a superhero, Nikki A.S.H.
Again, Nikki A.S.H., Nikki Cross, whatever you want to call her. Just make sure you might be calling her WWE Women's Intercontinental Champion soon at Backlash. If she can come through and win that ladder match. But tonight, she has to get through Alexa Bliss. These two have a lot of history together. They were a tag team at one point in WWE. But now, rivals once again. Here we go, match number 2. Let's get it going. This is going to be a fun one. Like I said, there's a lot of history, a lot of bad blood here between these two, and we know that can lead to some very interesting outcomes and interesting things that can happen both in and outside of the ring here at WWE. And both of these ladies are just looking to go into that championship ladder match with some momentum, and there's Alexa Bliss. My goodness. Love that move. Sunset flip power bomb. My goodness. That's a way to make a statement. And now look at Alexa waving bye-bye to Nikki Cross. Ever since she decided to go back to the old Alexa, we'll say, there's been a new sense of, I don't want to say anger, that's not the right word here, but a new sense of aggression is the word I'm looking for. Aggression from Alexa Bliss, and we're seeing it on display in the early part of this match here. And if there's one thing about Alexa, is that she's going to bring the aggression, but the same can be said for Nikki Cross. She can be a little bit out there at times and everything like that, but, you know, that doesn't matter, because once she gets in the ring, she's going to give you everything she has. And I mean everything. Kitchen sink, throw it all out there, man. She's going to give it her best shot. And that's what endears her to these fans so much. That's why at one point she was, you know, as good as almost a superhero. That was her whole thing. Now, you know, back to the older, more aggressive style of Nikki Cross. These are the things that you want to see from a potential champion. You want to be aggressive and assert yourself early in the match. And right now, both of these ladies doing a good job of exchanging in the back and forth between each other. As refs count at 4 now. Gotta get this one back in the ring here, ladies, unless one of you wants to become the first countout victim here in Sensational Women's Wrestling. Haven't had one of those yet through our first couple of episodes here. Again, episode 4 here. And then Backlash will be coming up after this. Down to 6 or 7 now. Got to get back in the ring here. And there we go. They do to get back in the ring. Nikki blending that arm in the corner. Yikes. Got to get out of that corner if you're Alexa. In the spot to be. And wait a minute. Here we go. Back and forth action here in the middle of the ring. Chops Nikki. Sending Bliss off the ropes, and Bliss says, you know what, I had enough. I'm out. I'm out of here. I had enough. See you later. I'm done. I don't need this. I will deal with you at Backlash. Psych! Alexa continuing the mind games. We saw this last week in her match, and here she's doing it again. We saw her do this against Mia Yim. We saw her do that with the handshake, pull back, and now we're seeing it here again. The mind games from Alexa Bliss. Always something to keep in mind. Be it if you're a champion or a challenger for Alexa, no matter who her opponent is. Gotta look out for that. And Alexa makes her way back into the ring. Smartly, if I may add. As the count's at 3. Cross taking a few moments to catch her breath, but now Alexa's gonna give chase to her, and not the smartest decision, as Nikki's able to grab her and toss her back inside the ring. The sleeper hold applied here. Nikki able to get out of it though. Nicely done. Nicely done, avoiding danger there. I thought that was going to end up in Nikki's favor for a second, but it ended up being Alexa's. Whoa, my goodness. Middle of the ring, 1, just a 1 count. Nikki couldn't put Bliss away there. And the thing is too, that's not going to matter in that ladder match at Backlash. Pinfalls won't count. You have to get your win by climbing that ladder and taking that title down. So all that stuff, all the pinfall submissions, that's not gonna matter. The submissions will weaken your opponent for sure and keep them down for longer. That's what you want in those ladder matches, obviously. But of course, we're not under those circumstances, those conditions just yet. That's gonna have to wait until Backlash. But right now, great battle here between these two, as expected, I think. Again, a lot of history here between these two, and it's coming to bear fruit here in this one. As we get a look at our preview of that Intercontinental Women's Championship match at Backlash. One of these two ladies has the chance to walk out as the Women's Intercontinental Champion. First ever, if I may add, because this is a new title that General Manager Stacey Keibler unveiled on the debut show of Sensational Women's Wrestling. As of right now, there are 4 matches on that card. Well, 2 of them being championship, 3 of them being championship matches. 3 matches on the card right now. 2, Nikki Cross gets the win. I was talking so much, and I didn't even realize Nikki Cross was close to winning the match. Oh my goodness. Well, all right. Look at that. Nikki Cross with some very nice momentum heading into the ladder match at Backlash. We'll see if she can get it done.
Well, well, well. Backlash is just around the corner, and the anticipation is building. That's right, Becky. Backlash is where we prove why we're the women's tag team champions. And we've got Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez stepping up to the plate. Liv, you've got the heart of a warrior. And Raquel, you're a powerhouse like no other. We respect the hell out of you two. And we know this match is going to be nothing short of incredible. At Backlash, Liv and Raquel, you're stepping into the ring with 2 legends. This match is going to be an all-out war, and we can't wait to give it our all. Despite other things that are going on with myself, I'm talking about you, Trish, it's not going to stop us. We're going to do our best. So, Liv and Raquel, bring your A-game, because you're going to need it. At Backlash, we're going to show the world why we are the women's tag team champions. And when the dust settles, you'll know why we are the real deal.
Strong words there from the women's tag team champions, Becky, Lynch, and Lita. So they live up to it at Backlash.
The following is scheduled for one fall. Making her way to the ring from Laredo, Texas,
Roxanne Perez making her way down to the ring for some singles action here, and she's had a rough go of it to begin her run on Sensational Women's Wrestling. In her first week, she came out and had a debut match against Tamina. Tamina spoiled her debut, losing that match. But, you know, we saw her get involved in Tamina's match last week as she had her chance to become a qualifier for that Women's Intercontinental Championship spot. Raquel's music played, or Roxanne's music played, and ended up costing her the match. And we'll see if that comes into play at all in this one. I'll say, which one is it? It's one of the two, but it's JC Jane. Well, all right. We got some things to talk about for her.
And from Tampa, Florida, JC Jane.
JC Jane making her official Sensational Women's Wrestling debut in ring anyway. JC and Gigi Dolan, members of Toxic Attraction. They are at the moment not together as a group, but we did see a little backstage interaction with them last episode. JC and Gigi had a talk, and it seemed like Gigi blew JC off, walked away from it. The only part of the conversation, that's, again, maybe we'll see something there come into play, but for right now, JC Jane making her Sensational Women's Wrestling debut. Another one of those NXT talents coming up. Roxanne Perez, the Prodigy, as she's been known to be called at times. We'll see how she does. She can get a win and even her record here. She's 0-1 coming into the Sensational Women's Wrestling era. And that's going to be interesting too, because both of these women have other things that are potentially bothering them at the moment. Again, JC with the Gigi situation, and Roxanne Perez potentially still has beef with Tamina, or Tamina might have beef with her, really, after what happened last episode. I'd imagine she's going to have something to say or do to Roxanne. Who knows, right? But hopefully we don't see any funny business in this match. Hopefully it's just a good competitive back-and-forth match between two of the younger superstars here in WWE. And there goes Roxanne! Flying off the top, double knees to JC on the outside. You love to see the high-flying action here. And we've had some good stuff here so far in part one. If you're enjoying part one so far, be sure to leave a like, comment, and all that good stuff. I really appreciate y'all getting more involved with the series overall. Again, trying a new format, splitting this thing into two parts. Part one is obviously here for you right now, and you'll get part two Tuesday evening at 5 p.m. Eastern time. So look forward to that as well as we close off the first run here to our first premium live event, Backlash. Some good matches on that card already with the 3 championship matches. There'll be more things announced and planned as we get closer toward that. And look at the dodge from Roxanne on the apron. Very precarious position, but it doesn't matter though, as JC. Big backdrop on the outside there at that floor. It's padding, folks, but that does not mean it does not hurt any less. There's no give out there. No give out there. And from what I hear, ready who gets in that ring, there is little to no give in that ring either. It might feel like it's got a, you might imagine it be like a trampoline sort of effect kind of thing, but not really. And look at JC digging her knee into the lower back of Roxanne. And Roxanne able to get out of it very quickly, though, avoiding any further damage. Off the ropes. Takedown, Thez press. Very nice from Roxanne Perez. Roxanne is really hoping that she can right the ship, because we know she wanted to come in and make her mark quickly on the main roster. Instead, it was Tamina who did that and used that to her advantage and bullied her way, we'll say, into a WWE Women's Intercontinental Championship qualifying match against Zelina Vega, which she did end up losing. Again, no thanks to Roxanne Perez's musing hit. Don't know if she had anything to do with that or anything, but you can imagine that it doesn't matter. She's fired up, clearly, regardless. Here we go, Roxanne Perez getting herself fired up, keeping the momentum going. Boy, oh boy. Cover. 1, 2, no. JC survives, getting the shoulder up at 2. Roxanne Perez, we know she's getting close and she wants to hit the Pop Rocks. Uh-oh, speaking of Pop Rocks, there it is! Pop Rocks to JC, cover 1. Oh, rope break JC. The awareness of JC Jane, recognizing where she is, getting herself into the ropes there and getting that in. But now, look at this. JC's in a tough spot here. She's close to the ropes. Her legs are anyway, but not able to move that direction. Roxanne's got that hole locked in tight. JC's trying to fight out of it, and she is able to get away for a brief moment anyway and avoid some danger. But Roxanne Perez staying on the offensive. That big knee to the chin of JC sends her back down to the mat. But now it's middle rope. There it is! My goodness, another one of those beautiful sunset flip. Powerbomb, cover 1, 2. Roxanne Perez gets the win and gets a modicum of momentum. Great win for Roxanne Perez here in this one. Great match here as well. Gotta be pleased with herself. I'm sure she is. And boy, oh boy, maybe this is time things to come for Roxanne Perez here on Sensational Women's Wrestling. And speaking of, backstage here after the match, here's Roxanne Perez. And wait a minute, Tamina from behind. Oh my goodness, wait a minute. Tamina, we saw her last week not pleased with the act, I can imagine.
You and me at Backlash. I'm going to put you away for good.
Tamina not pleased at all, and now she's saying she wants Roxanne Perez at Backlash. I'm sure we'll see that be granted, and that's going to do it for part 1, folks. We'll see you in part 2 on Tuesday. Look forward to it. Thank you for joining me. As always, like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. See you in the next one.